Welcome back dear viewers for BioC classes. In today's session, we are going to discuss about one more important post-fertilization structure, that is the fruit. As we all know that fruit is formed after the process of double fertilization. So the fertilized ovules will develop into the seeds, whereas the ovary wall is stimulated to form the fruit wall, that is we also term it to as the pericarp, the fruit wall or the pericarp. So the fruit, my dear friends, is an integral part of the plant body. It's an important and characteristic unit of plant. In fact, if I want to tell you, the plant itself is recognized by the fruit. For example, we have a mango tree, apple tree or guava tree as such. Why? Because the fruit which it bears is giving the plant its name. So that is, in fact, it may be a common name. That's not an issue here. Anyway, my friends, let me also tell you that the fruit may be fleshy, nutritious, and edible part, which may be, in fact, sweet or which may be sour. When I say nutritious, friends, let me tell you, it is very rich in the minerals, the fibers, and also the vitamins. So further, my dear friends, the fruits are classified into two types. The first one is we have the true fruit, and the second one we have here is the false fruit. So when we talk about the true fruit, it is a type of fruit which is developed only from the ovary. No other floral parts are, in fact essential here for the formation of fruit. Only ovary is stimulated to form the fruit in the case of the true fruits, or we can also refer that to as ewe fruits. Let me tell you, my dear friends, the true fruit will bear three important parts: the epicarp, the mesocarp, and the endocarp. The epicarp is the outer peel of the fruit. Then the mesocarp is the fleshy, consumable, the edible part, which is very tasty and delicious to consume, in fact. Then the endocarp, in fact, accommodates the seeds. The mesocarp in general, my dear friends, in fact, can be dry or it can be fleshy. It can be dry, as in the case of, for example, we have coriander, hibiscus, walnut, and so on. Or it can be fleshy, as in the case of we have mango, we have cucumber, we have papaya, and so on. Anyway, my dear friends. So the pericarp has three important parts: the outer epicarp, the middle mesocarp, and the inner endocarp. Then we have the seed and the seed bearing its seed coats, that is the outer seed coat we call that as testa, and the inner seed coat, that is tegmen. So this is about a short note on true fruit. Example for the true fruit, as I have drawn here, we can take drupe as the example, that is mango, or we can go for papaya, tomato, or you can go for any other fruit, which like for example, which is developed from the only ovary of the flower. Then we have the pseudo fruit or the false fruit. These types of fruits are in fact also referred to as the pseudo fruits. In fact, they are formed from the ovary along with the other floral parts like the thalamus also. Let me tell you, my dear friends, for example, we have apple, gourd, and also pear, to go with even cucumber, so which are developed from the thalamus part of the flower. This is one important aspect. So other than the ovary, but in fact ovary will be there, but the major stimulation of the formation of fruit would be through the other floral parts. That we need to remember. That's where I use the term ovary along with the thalamus and other floral parts, you can say. That would be more appropriate, my dear friends. Then let us say we have from the whole inflorescence, complete inflorescence, there are so many fruits which are formed. For example, let me tell you, we have pineapple and also we have jackfruit. Then one more example, if I want to give you here, from the peduncle. We already know that peduncle is a stalk which bears a fruit or a flower, or it can be a stalk of the inflorescence as well. So from the peduncle, for example, cashew nut is formed. So these are all examples for pseudo or false fruits. We can also give strawberry, fig and many other as examples for these types of fruits. So remember here generally we can find, see, as I said you, pericarp is there at the center of the fruit, but main fleshy part, the edible part is the thalamus. So the fleshy thalamus is the edible part, my dear friends. So that's where I have indicated this apple, which is a false fruit. So these are few important aspects about the fruits and their types. Friends, we also have fruits which are formed without fertilization. That means to say, it does not follow the process of fusion of male and female gametes. There is no fertilization at all. So, those types of fruits are formed through the process called parthenocarpy. The fruits which are formed through parthenocarpy are referred to as parthenocarpic fruits. In fact, my dear friends, parthenocarpic fruits are generally seedless. Let me say, for example, natural parthenocarpy can be seen with respect to fruits like banana, and also in certain categories of grapes we can find in fact the parthenocarpy, that is the seedless fruits we generally referred to as. My dear friends, even artificially we can induce the ovary to in fact directly produce the fruit without fertilization. In fact, we have certain hormones like indole acetic acid or naphthalene acetic acid, so which are nothing but the hormones which belong to the family auxins. So when these are gibberellins also, when they are sprayed before fertilization, so definitely the fruits which are formed will be in fact, let me tell you my dear friends, seedless. Without fertilization they will be formed. So there are in fact so many instances where this technique is exploited to produce so many different types of seedless fruits which we have today. The prominent among them are today we have grapes, we have papaya and so many other fruits. So remember that these types of fruits are formed without fertilization. So keep following up with the channel BioCE classes. Keep updated for more videos. Please, I request everyone to like, subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you very much.